You knock you down and you gotta get up. Trust yourself. Anyways, that's Andrea Simone, and she is a much better singer than I will ever be. Welcome back to Jillin Off.
We should have switched shirts.
Oh, yeah, we should have. We always say we're going to do that. Guys, just let you in on a huge secret. Sometimes we go out of town and we record 2 albums.
2 albums.
Can you tell?
Yeah, this is a great album.
Seems like I'm getting to the bottom of the can of beer I started last week.
No wonder you make so much money with all these albums you put out.
We're going to need like a little, like, what is it called when you make a typo, but like out of your mouth? Like a verbal typo. I just made a verbal typo. We are recording 2 episodes in a row. We're not recording 2 albums in a row.
Anyway, we're going to start out with your welcome to Jillin Off.
Yeah, with me as always, Jen Murphy. And then I'm still Christina Walkinshaw. I don't even think I said that. Oopsies.
And we have Paul Antonio.
And we have Paul.
Yo.
We just had another friend part of our podcast network in here before we started. And it was so funny because I won't say who he is because I don't know if you get mad if we say this, but it's pretty funny. He's talking about being in Vegas and he was describing this girl. And then he was like, oh, yeah, she's a burlesque dancer. Like, she's got, like, big fake titties. And then I was like, when you describe me to people, I'd be like, Christina Walkinshaw, the girl with the small, real titties.
I think yours would be called Big Real Titties.
They've only grown in the last 3 years. I have hit a weird growth spurt at, like, 38. I don't know.
Hormones kick in.
Is it hormones or is it like eating nachos consistently for 20 years?
Well, I think if you don't give birth, the hormones go to your boobs.
I like this theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I think a lot of women do get boobs once they get pregnant and they
Or
have kids.
your body thinks maybe there's still a chance and they're still sending up that hormone to your boobs in case you need to feed somebody.
Maybe that's what I actually feel like this is a legit explanation for this.
I do too.
Yeah, because I never had boobs growing up, and now I'm just getting them now. So
Yeah.
it's exciting. I fill out bras now.
It's almost like a reward
Yeah.
for not polluting the earth with children. You got boobs.
It's hilarious.
Thank you. Just about to quit stand up.
Oh, kids. I mean, they're good for, some cash on the side, when you're babysitting.
They are good for babysitting. Although the kid I was babysitting last week picked his nose and ate his booger, and I swear I physically got ill.
I would have laughed my brains out.
Has that ever happened to you?
Was it Porter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Porter.
He
He's
picked it.
the best.
I don't know why, because I've seen kids do this before, but for some reason, literally, when you get that weird, like, oh. I was like, oh, he's eating his boogers.
I would have texted Augie immediately and be like, yeah, Porter's picking his boogers
I
and
was
eating
like,
them.
are you hungry?
Oh, my God, that's so funny.
It's also funny with kids that, okay, this is not the first time it's happened. Porter's not the first, but there's something about boys around 5, 6, 7, I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're going to go catch
Where
frogs. They're
they're-
going to get gross real fast.
No, where they watching TV and I don't even think they know they're doing it, which I totally get because there's something between their legs, but they
I don't know.
but I'm sure even at that age, it probably feels good.
When's the first time you feel like you felt a tickle in your vagina?
Oh, not till like 12 or 13.
I was going to say,
think.
for sure. Mine's like later. It's probably around the same age, like 12 or 13. And I was reading Jackie Collins books, which I was probably too young to be reading, but I was a really good reader at a young age. And I started reading like adult books.
Yeah, that is young.
And my cousin was only 3 years older than me. So she was in was like super into Jackie Collins. And even there was like one Sweet Valley High, number 3, Playing with Fire. And it was a very small little scene on like page 23, because I think me and my friend Tanya actually had like that page dog-eared on our books. But where like Jessica just loses the top half of her bikini. And like for us, we like lost our minds. We're like, oh my God, page 23, Playing with Fire. She
And
like,
you got horny?
like it,
Wait, so
it
yours-
created like a weird tickle where we're starting to see some.
Yours was mental then.
Yeah, mine were all from books.
See, mine was just physical. Like I was like on a fence, and then something rubbed against me, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
oh, straddling things is good."
Yeah, like we need to have like a Jen blew out the micrometer. I'll just take it off. We're like, We're at 2 for this episode.
I've been straddling things. Oh, he turned off my mic. I've got cut off. It's not the first time.
Yeah. So your tickling was coming from like riding a bike and just like an extra bounce or something.
I remember I was like, I was straddling like some kind of fence or something, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, mine were all like mental stimulation from books where I was like, whoa. Especially Jackie Collins and like, I think even some Danielle Steele. She was a little more on the emotional side and Jackie was more on like the sexual side.
But you probably weren't a gymnast.
Definitely not.
See, I was a gymnast, so I straddled a lot as a kid.
You just straddle it up. I used to have a joke about a Brazilian wax growing back, and every time I hopped in my bike, it felt like I was straddling a pine cone. Like, you know, and the hair starts to like grow back. You know?
Oh my God. That's so funny. I remember my aunt gave me one of those books when I was like a teenager, but I had never masturbated.
I don't
So
think
I read it, and then I felt myself, like I did feel like stuff started to happen,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that you're, like how to I didn't know what you're supposed to do, so I just remember sitting there just like blue balls, like I don't know.
It's
What
almost like the first jilling off moments of our lives.
I never masturbated till I was like 22.
Um,
How young were you? You were probably 13?
no, I feel like it was later in life for me too. Like I feel like it took me a long time to figure out that I could do that with my finger.
And I feel like I didn't know how to masturbate till I was like 34.
It didn't work.
Like at 22, I probably thought you were just supposed to, like a teenage boy who thinks he's just supposed to finger you as hard as he can.
That's true. I feel
You're
like
how come this isn't working?
that's why women are probably either delayed or bad masturbators when we're younger because we're literally taking tips from guys that we've been with.
Nobody tells
So
you
we're
it's
like-
on the outside.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm like, what am I supposed to put my own finger in my own body? That's not doing anything. And then through some sort of self-discovery later in your 20s, you're like, oh, here's where it is. And then once you figure that out, seems like your dating life goes downhill. You start staying in. That's when you get the vibrators and you're like, oh my God, I don't even have to use my fingers. This is amazing.
Meet some guy. It's how
Oh my God.
it's like, oh, you haven't figured it out yet. Oh no, that's the same guy who shoves his tongue in and out of your ear.
Oh, girl. Oh my God. Ugh. I don't even not want to know what the inside of my ear tastes like.
I just don't know how it's pleasurable for either of us.
I know, that's so true.
It's a wax for you, and for me, it's an ear.
Have you ever been with somebody who's like a lot older than you and you're like, and he still has no skills?
No, I haven't
And then
been
you're
with
like,
that
what
many.
the hell?
I haven't been with that many people that are older than me. My ex-boyfriend was by a couple years, but he was good. He didn't. No.
trying
Have
to
you been
think
with older men?
I don't know. Like not much older and not lately. Oh, that's not true. I guess I was with all those vasectomy guys. But they're still vaguely my age, like between
Yeah,
like
I
40
thought
and
they were your
45.
age.
Yeah, so it's not like a big jump.
Paul? Huh?
Have you been with any guys with
I was
vasectomies?
gonna say, I've never been with an older man. I'm sorry. No, but every time I'm with an older chick, something weird happens.
Wait,
Oh,
Paul.
really?
Okay, wait. Paul's a good one to ask. What, or have you not realized it yet? At what age did you realize that it's not the finger banging, it's the outside, the clitoris?
Did we just tell you now?
Yeah. What? No.
Well, I just said I didn't know till I was like 34, so I wouldn't
Sec-
blame him.
third girlfriend in, so like.
Pretty early on. She told you?
20-ish.
She
I
told
think-
you?
She taught me a lot.
Oh, she's way more advanced than
Oh,
I
yeah.
was.
Remember Haley was too when Haley was here when you were sick. It does seem like younger women, they are better at like being directional and making sure that they get
But
sexual
we didn't
pleasure.
grow up with porn either. We didn't learn all
I
that
know, we really
stuff.
didn't. We didn't learn a lot. Like, I mean, you know, once in a while somebody's dad had like a Playboy. We got to like see the inside of the centerfold. But yeah, you're right. We didn't grow up with all this access to sex. We really had to figure it out.
So
and
wait.
actually, that's just like stand up too. We couldn't just like go on YouTube and like binge watch every comedian out there. We just had to go and figure it out.
Was it
Go to comedy
shocking to
clubs.
you when you realized it's not the inside, it's right on the outside? I hope people are watching on YouTube so they can see our visuals.
This is it. Chilling off the finger episode.
That you just have to do this
Just like this.
instead of doing this.
You don't have to go in there. You got to go over here. You want to go over this. You don't want to be like. But
Which I actually think the going inside is probably way more easier than doing that rubbing.
is this
on
thing
the-
on? Don't do that. I Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh.
I don't like getting spat on. That's a porn move. That's gross.
Oh, I had that done, but it was from high up, and he spit, and then it slowly fell down.
Oh,
Like, come on.
That's precision.
I know. It's
Also
gross,
gross.
but the aim, wow.
Yeah.
If you can. I'm just saying.
That's impressive.
Also,
of me.
how much one little dollop of spit can really help? Come on.
I know. It's going to dry up so fast. Spit's not like a thick
I use Crisco.
moisturizer, lube.
Crisco. That big vat of Crisco that people would buy.
I scoop it with like an open palm, like
Do you have like a whole like container of it that like makes a farting noise, like mustard, like when you like squirt it onto the girl?
I squeeze it out with a cake icing little tube. I make a flower.
It seems like if we tape 2 episodes in the same sitting, the second episode is always going to be like pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I love that about this podcast. If I just toot our own horn.
All of a sudden, we're in heat.
Just like, yeah, if you watch the
After
episodes
half
on
a beer,
YouTube,
we're in heat.
if you watch these episodes on YouTube or you're binge watching and you see we're wearing the same outfit as the last one you watched, that means, you know, and, or we didn't do laundry. But I mean, that's how you know it's going to be a sick episode.
Unless we're in the closet.
Oh, yeah, the closet. Oh, I couldn't listen to the closet episodes. I couldn't do it. I'm
we were
sorry,
off-
guys.
We were off our game. We
It sounded
apologize.
it sounded bad.
It wasn't
I
you
could-
guys. It was Haley.
Oh, oopsies.
That's fine. When you said in the closet, I thought you were referring to Jen's flannel. I was like, oh.
You know what's funny is that shirt, I actually gave it to her, and her brother thinks that we're lovers. So it all comes full circle.
Lumberjack Murphy.
But I left the top button undone.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the buttons, though.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
Lumberjack Murphy.
I think it looks so much better on her than it looks on me, too.
That's all right. It's not the first time I've been called gay. I have some manly qualities.
Lumberjack
Like
Murphy.
these big hands.
Guys, look, I got a pedicure and a manicure for the first time in ages.
Remember the Seinfeld episode where she has man
hands. Oh, yeah, totally. Man hands. That's like, yeah.
No, you have feminine hands.
Well, you know, they always
Thank
say
you.
that, like when they say that, like if you know a woman can do all that she wants to her face, like Botox wise, but if you look at a woman's hands, that's how you can really tell her true age. So now I'm kind of obsessed with looking at my hands, but I don't feel like they look too old. I
Don't
know.
be.
You know me, I don't wash a lot, so it'll probably save me. I do wash my hands after I go places.
Do you wash your mouth?
My mouth?
All right, we've gone off the rails.
Wow. Wow. All the rails.
Guys, if you're single, email us. We're
Well, look what I have written down. So sometimes me and Jen go for drinks after.
sometimes.
Sometimes we go for drinks after our podcast, before our podcast, during our podcast. But you know what I have written down that made a note in my phone? Because you had never heard this before. And I can't believe you'd never heard of this before. But we're talking about like period sex and period oral. Like, you know, there's like a Paul, I don't know if you've heard this saying before.
Who does
It's-
period oral? That's so gross.
That's what I'm saying. But the catchphrase or whatever is oh, it's okay to swim in the Red River, just don't drink from it. But Jen, have you never heard that either?
No.
Oh my
I've
gosh,
never
she
heard
had never heard
That's
that.
really good.
That's
Oh.
so gross.
Maybe that's
come
from
up-
Ottawa, Ontario. I don't
You
know.
come up with Ronald McDonald mouth.
Swimming is like that. Oh, I would just float.
I
Could we
grew up
just
in a
float
lot-
on the Red River. Could we
I grew up by a lot of rivers. What can I tell you? But yeah, that's a fun one that you guys can use on your dating profile.
on your dating profile. Rule number 1.
I'll swim in the Red River, but I will not drink from it. Dan, swipe right. 25, Laguna Beach, whatever. The profile
What a
says.
catch.
I know. That's the thing. Sometimes in dating apps, I'm like, why the fuck am I matching with people that live in Torrance or whatever? Like, I'm never getting on the 405 for a first date. Like,
Exactly.
it's all annoying.
Because
I'm like,
they know.
I want somebody that lives on my street. You know what?
No,
I would
you
like to meet
don't.
neighbors. No, I
No,
want to
you
meet my
don't.
neighbors. I'm excited for trick or treaters because I want to meet my
Yeah,
neighbors.
they're
Those are
5.
kids.
Oh yeah. So,
Oh, single
anyways,
dads. Single dads.
maybe there's gonna be some single dads trick or treating with their kids. I'd be like, ooh, would you like a little Malbec?
You should leave a note. Trick or treaters welcome. If you're single, knock twice.
I I think that's a solid idea, bro.
If you're single, give me candy.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah. good
Chris
one.
Hansen's gonna pop out. Like, what are you doing?
I was thinking about making like a Canada to America translating guide, like on my door, being like, you say candy bar, I say chocolate bar, for the kids, so they can learn more about Canada. We say chocolate bar. We don't say candy bar. It's not even
Oh.
candy. It's all chocolate. Twix isn't candy. It's chocolate. Did you just burp?
Yeah, but I kind of went to the side.
Oh yeah, it was small but mighty. Chocolate
These
bar.
microphones are gonna stink.
Almighty Murphy. There you go.
Muddy Murphy.
Don't think I'm gonna forget what you said about lumberjack.
Sorry. Wow, that smelled like lumberjack.
You know I'm insecure about my sexuality.
We grew up in a time where it was just harder to. Well, no, I totally experimented the whole way through. It seems like it's really easy when you're me.
As I say, Jen's insecure and Christina just melted off the mic cover.
I think the first time I ever made out with a girl, I was on mushrooms. I think it was the second or third time I'd ever done mushrooms too.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we did mushrooms.
When was
Yeah,
this?
that was pretty random.
When you were 13? Were you reading books?
University. It was university. It was post Jackie Collins.
If it was pre, then this would be a different podcast.
Everything we're talking about right now is way more exciting than
I
what had
remember
originally.
my best friend. Oh, well, I won't say her name. Well, she's not listening. Anyway, my very best friend when I was a little kid. We were like 7, and I don't know why. We used to watch soap operas.
Oh, me
together.
too.
And we wanted to know what it was like to kiss. So we took
we did
plastic
that too.
baggies and we put them over our mouths. And then we kissed each other, but with plastic baggies over our mouths.
I feel
Condoms.
like we kind of, I think we kind of did. We used to do this kissing where we would like practice like this. So we would put our fingers over our lips and then we pretend like we were kissing. We'd be like, but really the fingers would be over the lips like that.
So every little girl's kind of
Every little girl's kind of like definitely like made out with their best friends. And in fact, I feel like the first time I blogged about being with a woman in my old blog like 5 years ago, then my best friend from elementary school was like, bitch, how come you never hit on me? Like, I was so mad.
I did it again.
Uh-oh, the blown up the micrometer is gonna.
I just never know when you're going to make me laugh that hard. And I'm like up to the mic. Oh, it hurts. Does the audience hear that?
No,
Oh, okay.
I fix it.
For the audience that doesn't know, when I laugh
fixed
really
they
hard.
don't hear that. They don't see the power outage that happens every time Jen laughs. Or
The lights flicker.
lights flicker. Spooky. No, Jen just laughed.
Look at the walls falling down.
But seriously, the wall is falling down. You're right.
It's a side effect.
Oh my god.
Oh no. What are we going to do?
Oh my god. This is like all so much more exciting than anything I wrote down here.
I confronted my friend about that as a joke. Like, we were with her I was living in New York, and she came to visit with her new husband and stuff. And I was like, remember when we were kids and we would totally pretend to kiss? And she's like, that never happened. She got all serious.
Oh
and I was
no,
like,
really?
I was like, no, we were like 8 and whatever.
Yeah.
That never happened. I was like, okay. Well,
Oh,
they live in
no.
Utah. They might be kind of Mormon-y or
Oh
something.
yeah.
I
I
was
feel like there's a whole bunch of pockets in the middle of America where they're not cool with anything that the outside of America is into.
I was like, that happened.
No.
Lesbo. I'm kidding.
Every girl was a little lesbo as a kid.
I still am a little lesbo.
Everybody's a little lesbo, eh? Especially Paul.
Hey, if somebody will let me
Guilty.
grab a tit, I'll do it. I think I grabbed Laura's last week. Wait,
Yeah, I
you
think you
just felt
did.
your own boobs? You're like, oh, I'll consider it.
Because this is what I always feel like. Do you ever have a girl like just like grab your boob as like a joke, but then you're like your bra is so padded that you're almost like you're embarrassed. You're like, oh no, now you know how much padding's in my bra.
Just tell her that your titties are made of memory foam.
They kind of are.
My pillow.
I do always
My
say it's
pillow.
like a bumper
My
car down
titties.
here. It's like I could like smash into the wall. That's the thing. You need to wear padded bra. Like I like to make my boobs look bigger because I have a big ass. Like, and I don't want, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to have a pear-shaped body. I'm gonna pad it so it like looks equal proportional. Right? Does that make sense? Kind of proportionally. Because I remember one time back when I was more flat-chested and I was serving in Toronto, I used to work and I wear like a tight black shirt and then a kilt. But the kilt totally hides your butt, right? Like you never can tell how big somebody's butt is in a kilt. Unless you peek under it maybe. But like, you Scottish pervs. All right. But then, once I started bartending, the bartenders all wear black pants. So then I started wearing black pants, and then this little girl, Sherry, who's like tiny, she's like, "Oh my God, Christina, I never noticed that you have a big butt before." And then I was like, and then she's like, "No, it's okay. It's like in proportion with your body." I was like, "No, it's not. My butt is big. My boobs are tiny." So basically, what you're telling me right now is that I have mullet body.
Mullet body.
It's business in the front, party in the back. Oh no! Did my mullet joke blow the mic?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.
I don't know what happened. Anyways, guys, there was a portion in my late 20s where I definitely had mullet body.
Has this beer been fermenting since 1989? What is happening?
Oh, where were we in 1989? Where were we?
We're gonna start wearing cups.
Cups.
Yeah, in your vagina, so nobody can poke you.
Oh, I thought you meant to pat it. My ass is big. No, my titties look big. I need a crotch.
Well, that's kind of what I meant too, but also it's a protection.
A protection for a little cup in your underwear or what?
Well, you know how like what happened to me on the train.
Oh yeah. Do you remember?
Somebody came up when we were getting on the train.
Grabbed her badge. Went for it.
No,
my
butt.
Your
I was gonna
butt.
say that's not how you grab a bat.
He didn't grab my butt.
You don't go like this.
You grab it like this.
He didn't grab my butt. I was wearing a dress, and he shoved a finger right into my
Oh, yeah,
butthole.
that's right. It was a finger.
What?
Yeah.
How many inches did it go in?
He did it and ran, but he did it. Not ran. He got on, but I mean,
Because he was still within.
he penetrated. I was horrified. She saw my face. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, Christina.
And we could still see the guy once we were on the train because Jen was like, that guy just like, and I was like, oh my God.
Jed's like, he ran away 2 rows away from us.
Well, I
Sat
couldn't
down.
confront him. He was a little sketchy
is.
looking. But a guy across from us saw what happened because I know he was looking at me because he saw me look at you like.
Yeah.
It's not the first time it happened. It happened one other time in New York when I was getting on a train.
That's the good thing about my jeans being too tight on me right now because like you couldn't even poke through
It's
the jeans.
only if you're
It's
wearing a
like-
dress because then
like,
they can kind
I
of,
know, you got the give with the fabric. But with these jeans right now, it's like, oh no, it's like it's guarded. You could try, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to, these jeans are too tight. It's
That's
like,
what I say. We need to wear cups.
yeah, we do. We need cups.
But that would protect the front.
We'll wear it on both sides.
It'd be fun if it was like if
butt
there
cup.
like a little like electric shock every time you tried to grab my butt. It was like that'd be good. right?
Jurassic Park gate. Part of me is horrified and part of me is like shocked at the accuracy. Like that's pretty good. He could just slammed a knuckle into your cheek.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God.
Oh no, that finger right on the target. Right on the target.
Hawkeye.
Disgusting. And you know he's the one on the subway that smelled the worst too.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a weird thing where you couldn't really confront.
I know.
You're just sort of like, I just got to roll with this and get off soon.
We're so polite. We're like, well, you put your finger in my butt, but I'm gonna let it slide.
What am I gonna do? Like get in a fight with him and punch it? Like what? There was
I know,
nothing.
I know, it's so true.
You put a finger in his butt.
Plus,
That's
he
what you
looked
do.
crazy, so you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I don't want to even.
Exactly. Confrontation probably would have made it worse
Yeah.
or scary. Or
Sometimes you just gotta live with a finger in your butt.
Yeah,
it's it.
that's what I'm doing, Paul.
Life is just one big finger in the butt.
Just
Finger
wearing this
in the butt.
flannel to try and throw him off, but you know,
I bet you won't. Yeah, it's not gonna happen tonight.
see if it works. Well, thank you, Christina.
Oh no! I'm saying I feel like we both look pretty flannelly. We look very. If that guy's on the subway tonight, he'll be like, "Those girls are together. They don't need my finger in the butt."
God, I thought my flannel was kind of sexy. I was like, oh,
I think a flannel
I'll
is.
keep the top button open.
I think it does look sexy, and you're right. She's got the buttons open. I feel like it's
Yeah, right. You're both accusing me of rubbing clits.
You have to wear it like a cholo. Just button the top button and leave everything else unbuttoned.
Oh God, no.
Wait, how do you do it? Sorry, you
button the top button and, then you leave the rest of them
and you just,
unbuttoned.
like,
Yeah.
just open like V,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
upside down V neck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Like big.
We're
My
really-
beer belly would be sticking out.
We're
I don't-
covering so many topics.
Everything I had written here was so boring.
That's how I feel about mine.
Like I was
It's
gonna
not
make.
mine. Oh wait.
was-
Oh wait. Can we? Oh sorry, I did it again. I blew out the mic. Can we please talk about if you haven't seen it yet on Amazon Prime, Modern Love?
Yeah. Okay. So I already watched the whole thing, and
You told me to watch it, so I
Right.
did.
so the first episode I was charmed. The second episode I was like, okay, fine, and then the third episode I had turned it off But then I did finish it. Then I felt like a dick, and I was like, okay, I see where this is going.
Well, I
But
fast forwarded Anne Hathaway's, but every other episode,
that was the episode the last week.
every
But then-
other episode was amazing.
I think that it was funny because one of my friends, he wrote a submission for that. So I've known what Modern Love was for a few years, like the
I thought it
actual
was amazing.
New York Times article or like a column. So then, one of my friends submitted, and I read his submission a couple years ago. And so, then when I saw it became a TV show, I like kind of felt dumb for not submitting myself. And then that's what I was working on last night in solving. I want to submit for that show.
I thought it was so amazing. Are they working on season 2?
Sorry, the column, I guess. They would pull something from the column, I guess, for the show. But
So I was the opposite of you when you said you thought episode 1 was sweet, or what did you say?
I thought it was charming.
I broke
You
into
hated-
tears at the end.
Oh, yeah, but the door, I loved it.
You know why? Because the door. Well, I think it
I
might have
know
been
why.
Azora.
Zoran. Oi.
Well, she did it this time. That was her. That was her.
That's my fault. That was mine.
So as soon as it started and that doorman, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that's totally Zoran right now.
Totally.
And then, you know what? I literally like burst into tears at the end. So you guys have to watch it, but he's this really nice doorman who takes care of this young girl who's dating. And every time she brings a guy back and he's like, that's not the right guy for you.
I know.
That's not the right guy for you.
And I did cry at that one. The
And
first one
then-
is the best episode, I think.
Well, this is what got me. When she finally brought back the guy, she has her daughter and she brings back the guy that she's in love with and whatever.
Yeah.
And she tells the guy, ooh, this
I
doorman's
know.
very, he's tough and everything. And right away, the doorman's like, you're great. And she was like, why was it so easy? You hate everyone. He goes, I never judged the men. I only looked into your eyes. And I was like,
so true. Look, my arm hair is going to stand up right now, like just talking about it. And I cried at that too. The
Well-
first episode, I think, is the best episode.
also, Ron used to, there was a couple of times he looked right at me and he would say something about my personality. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Like weird, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's like, I can see it in your eyes. So when they said that about the eyes, I was just like,
Oh, you were like crying.
there
It
was a lot
so
of good episodes.
Have you seen it?
Just turned totally girly on you, but
You're gonna watch it.
haven't
It's
seen
great. It's cool. Here's what's great, and maybe
and at the last one when they wrap them all up.
I know. I like the way that they did that. But I feel like it's interesting because, every episode is different actors, different characters. And then, at the end, they kind of bring everybody together and kind
It's
of
not like sappy love
streets
stories,
of New
though.
York where everybody somehow might have passed each other on the street. Yeah, and it's not sappy.
No,
it's all based on real stuff.
It's really good writing.
Yeah.
What about the one where the two gay guys adopt the?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
I think it's really good writing. It's.
I
great.
think, it's funny because it's all normal people that have written and submitted to that column, and then they've been developed for the show. So these are like honest people, not necessarily professional writers.
Oh, so every episode wasn't written by the same person.
They're all written by different people.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wasn't sure about because
So
I think
it's a column you could submit to.
I saw that it said taken from a column, but I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was one guy's column or one
No,
woman's
it's
column.
every episode's written by another person, like a human being, not even like a writer.
A human being.
A human being,
Not
guys.
a robot?
Civilian, not a comedian. Ugh, gross comedians. Who could hang out with them? There's so much work. But that's what the column is, and it's so I'm just gonna try to shrink down everything I had from my blog about trying to convert to polyamory and trying to like mesh that into 2,000 words because that's the maximum word count that you can have on one of those submissions. So that's what I was working on last night.
Oh, good. Yeah,
So we
you
done
should.
a nice rabbit hole of rereading my old poly blog, and sometimes you reread things, like years after you wrote them, and you're like, oh my god, this is awful. But that I kind of had fun rereading, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then I made notes of everything I want to put in my submission, and then I got too drunk and I had to stop writing. That's my bad work ethic, not anybody else's. Don't do as I say, not as I do.
Do as I say now.
Chug-a-lug.
That was so
But yeah, the show's charming. I mean, the Anne Hathaway one kind of was like, but then by the end, I was like, okay, I see what's happening here.
Oh, I
And
never
then what did
even
you think of the
finished it.
Tina Fey, John Slattery one?
I loved it.
Did you?
I
I
like-
found it a little bit annoying.
I liked the end, the tennis and all the. No, the tennis was the whole metaphor for their relationship.
And I feel like tennis is an easy metaphor for love, obviously. So then I wasn't like super, do you know what I mean? I read a lot of chick lit, look at like rom-coms and all kind of stuff. So it's like, I know the easiest analogies to make in relationships.
Strongest episode.
But also I felt like, and I love Tina Fey and I love John Slattery and both of them. I don't know. That was not my favorite.
Yeah, it might have been a weaker episode.
But
I
the
still
first
enjoyed
episode
it.
was my favorite.
I still enjoyed it, but it might have been a weaker. Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode that's my favorite. The
And I
Doorman.
cried at the last one because they brought it all together.
I know, it was sweet.
Anyway,
it's a
we've
good
lost
show.
every listener who hasn't seen
Modern Love. You know, when you're not getting laid, you're usually watching something on TV that is about love. That is just the way life works.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was crying so much because I'm not having sex. I'm like, ah.
Maybe you weren't crying because of the show. You're just crying because like you're alone. You're like, oh my god. I cried too. I definitely cried at that one.
Oh, you held in the burp.
Do you want to look at how bad everything else is that I was going to write about?
Yeah.
Or
Read off your
talk about?
topics.
Yeah, this is my topics. Okay. I don't like people that have fundraisers on their Facebook for their birthdays. That bothers me. When it's like, so-and-so's birthday, donate to their fundraiser. I'm like, you're homeless, okay? You need money. I don't even believe this fundraiser is a real thing. I think this money's going right in your pocket. And if it really is a fundraiser, well, then you're even dumber than you look because you need money. Anyways, then I wrote, is that too mean? But I'm
No.
like, it's always, and then sometimes I have rich friends that are like, help me out with a fundraiser. I'm like, you're rich. How come you just don't donate to the fundraiser? This whole fundraising life, it's weird. Okay.
This whole
Then-
fundraising life.
Everybody wants to raise funds, and it makes them look like a hero. But meanwhile, I'd be like, well, anyways.
I was thinking that because I heard an ad for Stand Up to Cancer. And they're like, we're going to stand up to cancer. And I was like,
and then you saw the lineup, and all the comics are broke.
No,
like they could
it's
actually
not
use.
that.
They could actually use a paid gig. That's another thing when people have fundraisers. You're making money, and then you don't want to pay the comic, and then it's like, well,
it's not.
you can do both.
It's not that. The thing I was thinking was like, do they think that like, oh, we've just been letting cancer go, but if we stand up to it, this shit's gonna stop.
That's so true. Stand
Like,
up to
like
cancer.
we have a way to stop it. Like, stand up to this cancer thing. Stop letting it affect people. Oh, okay, we're making no
That's
difference.
always worked. Cancer's always back down when you told it to. Like,
Is there somebody raising money for cancer, like pro cancer, to like to
you're
counterbalance?
like, wait, what? What are you for cancer? I'm very confused.
That's
Where
what's
do you
always
stand on
bothered me.
cancer?
That's what's always bothered me about like the NFL. When I don't know if they do it anymore because I haven't seen it yet. I think they might have stopped. In the years past, when it was October and it's breast cancer awareness,
Yeah.
they would all wear like pink cleats,
Yeah.
pink, all this shit, which they spend a ton of money to make. And it's like, just give that money to the breast cancer if you want to.
Yeah.
Like you wearing pink cleats isn't going to help breast cancer.
Yeah.
I think they sell it. I
You're
think they sell it
spending
though.
a lot of.
then-
I noticed this year they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Who was
They-
somebody was telling me the other day too, when you were talking about like fundraising for cancer, which obviously like I've lost family members to cancer. It is heartbreaking. But like all these big like doctors and big medical and pharmaceutical companies in America, they make money to treat cancer, not to cure it.
Yeah.
So it's like it almost makes sense not to cure cancer because if you treat it, you're continually like making money as an industry, and I think that is disgusting.
Oh, this is the deepest we've ever gotten on Jillin.
Remember when we were just
You're
talking
supposed to
about
rub it, not go deep.
clits at the beginning of the episode? I know.
Brought it back.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. Oh my God. What do you give them my dorky list that I made when I was sober?
Middle finger.
Little finger.
Which finger do you use, Paul?
I do the rock symbol and I go. No, I'm
one?
joking.
Whatever one's faster. This one always seems like it'd be like.
I use the back of the palm,
Middle.
the back of my hand.
Middle's got the most strength. Well, you're coming from a different angle.
I use my big toe.
That. Toe banged. Oh shit! Now my microphone is like tender.
Yeah, I've been a bad influence on you.
I love it. I love your influencing. You're an influencer on me. I love it. Okay, here's the other dark thing. We're just gonna fly through these topics because they're so dumb that I don't want to save them for another week. They're maybe not dumb. Maybe you're like, no, I really understand what you're talking about. Okay, do you ever like so today on the 405? You know what it's like? 25 minutes to the 405. 30 minutes to 134, and you ever like just gun it, be like, I could beat that, and then you like think you're gonna beat the time. You think the time might be wrong, but then the time's always right. And all of a sudden there's like a
Exactly.
giant traffic clusterfuck right by Haskell. Anyways, whatever. Okay, so that's that.
GPS don't fuck around.
They really don't. Then I took. Okay, sometimes I'm slacking and procrastinating on writing so hard that I'm like, oh, look at this survey that I forgot to fill out in my email. Well, it seems like it's about time I filled out this survey, you know. Because I feel like everybody wants feedback right now from every single store or service that you use. Everybody's like, can you please, like you go to CVS, or like, we need your feedback. It'll only take 2 minutes. Tell us how your cashier was or whatever. So then I did. I filled out a feedback thing for Lyft. And I was like, so then it was like, how many lifts do you think you've taken in the last 4 weeks? So then I wrote 12. And then I opened up this other email that said last month I took 35 lifts.
In
So
one month?
Yes. So I think it's 12, but it was actually 35.
There's no way you took a lift every day of the month.
It said
But it's
35.
One
No,
there, one back. So it's
Yeah.
always 2.
it's always going to be 2. And if I go to other places, like in the night,
You're so much smarter. than me.
35 lifts.
So
I
that's
guessed.
That's still half
12.
the month.
I know, but also that was September. That was last month. So I was in Vegas. So I might have been lifting a lot and not driving. Anyways,
My problem with the surveys is I feel like they should compensate me. Like Southwest sent me a survey and they're like, take this really quick, and they make it look easy. They're like, because the first it looks like it's just one page. It says, how would you rate 1 through 10? So I go, oh, okay, I'll give you a 10. And then all of a sudden they're like, only 20 more questions to go. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine if you do that, but send me some drink tickets or something.
yeah, you should. This feedback was, you'll get entered for
If I'm gonna take your 10-minute
draw.
survey, send me
something. Anyways.
Something.
We want stuff for our feedback. Then I said, I don't even think I'm just addicted to my phone. I think I'm addicted to charging my phone because even I come here, I'm like, well, we're at 85%, but we have to charge it. Anyway, that sucks. I went to Solvang yesterday for a writing retreat. It was a great time.
Oh my God, it's okay.
Today I was sore for the first time from a workout in forever. That's enough. And then when you get drunk off the first drink because you drank so much the night before that it seems like all the booze is still in your body. And that's everything I had to say.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Bam.
wait.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
for you.
Do you not love me?
No, I did high five you,
No.
but I had the.
No.
Oh, yeah. Dinner lock.
Lesbians.
Let's, for the rest, if we just wore the flannel shirts for every single flannel plaid, wouldn't we look like the sweaty balls people on Saturday Night Live?
I really
If we had
thought I
that.
was a little sexy today.
I do think it looks cute. It totally looks great.
Alex said I bombed at the improv. Now I'm gay.
You look great. Do you want to adopt a husky?
San Luis Obispo put me in the friend zone.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. Just kidding.
Spooky. Whoa, flying beer.
It did jump pretty high, huh?
Dude, the beer just got airtime.
It did.
Oh my God.
All right, we gotta go.
Did we get the light? Okay, cool.
You know, the World Series is on. My name's Jen Murphy.
And my name's Christina Walkinshaw.
Email us at
Emails jillinoffpod
gmail.com.
and just tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And
Give us some topics because
Give us-
we're here to discuss. We're
us-
pretty smart.
we're super smart and
Okay, let's go.
Stay that.
We gotta go.
I can't even say it with a straight face.
Shout out to Paul, Comedy
Shout out.
Pop Up.